Hi everybody, thank you for coming out today and for being a part of Jessie's big day. This is a really cool video, but as we get started, I just wanted to put a little disclaimer on. If some of the answers start to go a little astray and Jessie's kind of getting that look in her face, somebody please just send me a text message or give me a call and just give me a little bit heads up so I've got some prep before she comes home. What was the first thing I noticed about Jessie? I think definitely it was her smile. You know, she just has a fantastic smile. And I think the second thing was her laugh. You know, when we were together, I just, kind of fell in love with her laugh right away. If I could be any superhero, there's a whole list of superheroes that I could potentially be. But I think probably right now I would go with Captain America. Captain America's really got that kind of 1940s, good guy attitude, and I kind of consider myself that way too. Now he's 10 times stronger than I am and a lot more good looking, but I think that's what I would do. Jessie could bring just one thing on a honeymoon, it would have to be her phone. She can't go anywhere without her phone. So probably it would be the answer to any question that said if Jessie could bring just one thing, what would it be? It would be her phone. If I were to cook just one dish for Jessie, it'd probably be the only dish that I actually really can cook that doesn't get burnt, toasted, dried out too much, which is my mom's homemade macaroni and cheese. Jessie really loves her, at least she tells me that she does, and makes me feel good about it. But everything else I seem to fail miserably at, so that's what. How many children does Jessie want? Well, I like to think that we would come up with this number together, but she kind of has a little bit more in deciding this. But I know that she wants at least 2 kids with the option of 3. Now, I'm trying to work very, very hard to get us to 3 kids with the option of 4, but for purposes of this video, we'll probably go 2 with the option of 4. Do we have pet names for each other? Really, we don't actually. But we do have something that we do all the time. And as folks know, we did get engaged in a hot air balloon, but we had sort of started this thing where every time we saw a hot air balloon, we would tell each other that we love each other. So sometimes, it's in a text, sometimes it's face to face, but I'd say that's probably the closest that we've got to names for each other. What would Jessie say is my most annoying habit? It would definitely have to be sort of my, I don't know if I want to say nervous tick, but just sort of need to make different sounds. So like if you give me a pen that clicks, I will definitely click it. If you give me something that makes noise, I will make sure that it makes noise. And even times that I think it's not that annoying, it gets to her pretty. So what's Jessie's most annoying habit? I would think that, to me, Jessie's most annoying habit is her front seat driving. So when I'm driving, she has a tendency to be on her phone and be checking Facebook and texting people, and then just out of nowhere, we'll look up and comment on where we're at. That like we're gonna suddenly hit something or run into the back of someone else's car, and I've got it, but she just has a tendency to do that a lot. So if there's one thing that Jessie could get rid of in my closet, really there's so much stuff in her closet that there's not room for my stuff in her closet. So I think it's one of those situations of out of sight, out of mind. So actually I think all my stuff is pretty safe, so I don't think there's anything that she would get rid of in my closet. So a Lucky impersonation would be, this is a picture of Lucky. So Lucky would probably say something like, Mom, I told them that they should put the water heater back the right way, but they didn't. I sat here the whole time and supervised, and they did not do it. So who wears the pants in a relationship? Well, I think in fairness, I will say that it depends on the situation. Now, if we're looking at percentages, we both wear the pants, but I think maybe Jessie wears them a little bit more. So what games or sports does Jessie think she's better than me at? I think I'll split that into two answers. One, games is definitely not Words with Friends, not Ruzzle, and not Trivia Crack. She just to stop playing those all together with me, and I think it's because I keep winning. However, Apples to Apples and Cards Against Humanity, I never get anywhere. She's a much better player. So who's the better driver? Well, I think it depends on how you evaluate it. If you're looking at how quickly we get from place to place, maybe Jessie's the better driver. But if you're looking at it from a safety standpoint and making sure that you get from place to place, I'm definitely the better driver. Who our future children go to when they need something? Well, our children are going to be smart, so they are going to choose depending on the situation and probably play mom and dad against each other. So I think it depends all on the situation. So they probably will go to both of us, but very systematically and very cleverly will work us against each other. So when did Jessie and I know that we loved each other? I'm not sure when we both knew together, if there was a one point in time that we both knew. But I definitely knew, that I had feelings for her and things could, we could really go somewhere. But there was a moment that I was like, wow, that it wasn't just me feeling this, that apparently it was more obvious. So actually we were to dinner, Federal Tap House downtown Lancaster, with one of Jessie's friends, Melissa. And we were talking and we were asking Melissa about her relationship. Jessie and her had conversed about this guy that she had went out with a couple times, and she said that she had broken up with him, and we kind of both looked at each other, and she's like, well, I'd been out with the two of you and just saw how the two of you, just were just so perfect together, and she's like, there was no way that was going to happen for us. And it just was, I think, at that point, I really knew. I knew that, the feelings that I had were, kind of had manifested themselves outside of just my head, and other people saw them too. And I think for me that sealed it, that confirmed it, that everything that I was feeling was what I thought. If there's a shoe that Jessie really, really wants and it doesn't exactly fit her shoe size, she's going to get it anyway. So I'm going to say somewhere between a 6.5 and an 8. What's Jessie's favorite ice cream? I don't think that there are really any ice creams that Jessie really, really completely detests, but I have to say Carmen and David's. Even though it's not an ice cream brand or an ice cream type, is really our favorite place to go and some of her favorite ice cream. Really 3 major vacations that we've done. One was our trip to see Ryan and Christine in San Diego. One was our camping trip, which was our first vacation together. And then we did a trip with some of my friends to the Outer Banks. To the best of my knowledge, other than being a big sister, Jessie's first job was Cornwall Manor. would say on the beer side, I would go with a lager, or for those who aren't around here, a Yingling lager. And I would say her others, definitely she's a wine drinker, so she loves her wine. Her sports team is definitely easy. She is a Philadelphia Phillies fanatic.